Hello.
All right, welcome back to the first edition of the Wine and Ad Tech Show in about a month. I know the fans have been thirsty, pun intended, for more content, but July was a little bit hectic, a lot of days off, and so we're back. I have with me the wonderful Rendi Graham, who will introduce herself shortly to talk about wine and give that viewpoint. I'm Mike, I work for Central. I'll talk a little bit about wine and a little bit about ad tech, and I will be your tour guide through the cosmos. So Rendi, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello. I am Rendi, as you already said. It's a weird name, so I feel like I can repeat it as many times as one might need. I have a tiny little wine importing and distribution company here in Chicago. It's run by me and my family. My mom and stepdad are in France. My brother and I are here, so they help with logistics on the French side, and my brother and I do all the sales and everything else that's needed for the company on this side. So yeah, that's our little shtick. It's all French wine, all small family-owned wineries. So keeping it small. And I sell to a lot of small bottle shops. I'm in one right now. That's a little bit about
great.
me. Anderson Ganne Wines is the company. One should say the company.
We will definitely, for the Chicago folks, we will definitely have places you can buy some of the wines we talk about and places to keep an eye out. If you've watched any of the episodes, you know that I personally like my French wines, and that's a great way to go into what are you drinking right now, Rendi?
So I have to be honest, I am almost always drinking sparkling. If I can, that bubbles is what's going to be in my glass. More specifically, I'm almost always drinking Cremant d'Alsace. It'll probably come up multiple times because that's how obsessed I am with it. But yeah, I love bubbles, but I'm obsessed with wine pairings too. So a lot of times my meal that I'm cooking will dictate what I'm going to drink. So yeah, when it's not bubbles, it's based on food.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I drank this 2 nights ago, keeping it in France with a little Chateauneuf de Pape. And it was great. I had made some New York strips, got the grill real hot, threw them on, and this was a great compliment. A little bit of raspberry, but a pretty heavy-bodied Chateauneuf de Pape, which isn't always the case. Sometimes you get them a little bit more Pinot-y, but this was a nice Grenache Syrah blend, so we had a little bit more backbone, a little bit more spice, so that was kind of fun. So you talked about wine and food pairing, and again, for all of my rabid fans who've watched the show, I've oft quoted Francis Mallmann, who said something to the effect of, drink good food with good wine. And I talked to you about that, and you said, aptly, good is a little bit of a liquid term, I think was what you said. So I think we agree that you can't, a little fluid. I think we agree you can't necessarily always just drink something with something. So talk to us a little bit about how you go about the wine and food pairing.
So why I said good, I feel like, you could get a more rugged Grenache Syrah Mourvedre blend, a Cote or something. What I'm always trying to do is figure out how do I make the wine as elevated as possible and the food as elevated as possible. You brought up, which I love this, what grows together goes together is a great principle. So if you're cooking something that is specific to a region, get a wine from that region. I don't think you're going to go terribly wrong, but I have a little bit of a crutch that I use on pairings, and I don't know where it came up in my mind to make a sauce out of whatever I'm drinking. Just deglaze the pan with something, or add a little bit of the wine to the mix. And I feel like really, if it's going to go with your protein and it's literally you are eating the wine that you're drinking, how far off could the pairing be? So that is my always, when in doubt, make a sauce out of what I'm drinking, just a little bit.
I love it. I am a big braiser. Love braising my lamb. big lamb drinker. So definitely, and in fact, when I get to my wine and food pairing, I'll talk a little bit about that. But
well,
that's a great one. I love it.
Your Chateauneuf de Pape, if you wanted to braise something, I would get a cheaper Cote de Rhone, but something that might mimic the garrigue, as the French like to call it, like those natural kind of herbs that tend to be in those Southern French wines. That you just
tougher
use that
to
as your braising liquid.
Yeah, tougher to do a one for me, one for you with your saucepan and a $50 bottle of wine. Yeah,
I was about to say, if you can, I guess by all means,
sure.
But
sure.
I wouldn't.
No, Deb, I don't know if I would either.
Yeah.
So, Rendi, I know that you're a huge fan of digital media and ad tech overall. Do you have any questions that you would like to ask me about the industry?
Well, so my industry has shifted a little bit, as so many have, and I've been doing like Zoom call, private tastings, things like that, and I've been hearing a lot of pain points for people. I didn't know what you're hearing most about pain points in your industry.
It's a great question. Off the top of my head, I would have to say that the number one thing I'm hearing over and over again is a vendor consolidation or a data consolidation or a platform consolidation. Essentially, the digital media space is fragmented. The big walled gardens like Facebook and Google are great places to put advertising, and people spend a lot of money there, but your paid search, if you're outsourcing that or if you're doing that in its own walled garden, isn't going to necessarily help the performance of your social campaign or your video campaign or your display campaign. So the ability to either have one partner execute all facets so that they can monitor each piece and optimize between, and or a software that can help you do that, has been really key for a lot of the media. And frankly, you see it everywhere. I mean, you go to get your oil changed and they offer to replace your windshield wipers and they offer to replace your air filter and change your tires. One-stop shopping, because it's efficient for you and it's efficient for everybody else. And listen, if you're trying to run a business and you have to meet with 7 different media vendors or 7 different agencies, that's not really going to give you the time you need to run the business. So lots of talk, especially in COVID, when people's schedules are a bit interesting with childcare and otherwise, being able to have one point of contact and one place where all of that data is has been really important to people. So back to and interestingly enough, I sell a software that helps you do that.
I know.
Because why not?
Wait, so one can get that from you? Okay.
One can get it from me.
Yeah.
So let's talk wine and music, or wine and movie pairing, or TV. If you're like, hey, I just love to sit down and watch Handmaid's Tale with a box of Kleenex and
something
and a big bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd pair that with. It'd have to be something strong. But I was thinking about this because this was literally my Sunday. A friend had told me, have you heard of Palm Springs? It's the new Andy Samberg movie on Netflix. Maybe it's not newish.
I've seen the trailer. Yes, Andy. Yeah.
I was not sold, and within like 5 minutes, I laughed like unexpectedly, and I was drinking Beaujolais. So I would say Palm Springs with something really drinkable. I'm a year-round rosé drinker, I'll just say that. But if you're watching, like, they're in the desert half the time, so maybe something, something thirst quenching, something that you could have while you're there. So that's.
Do you have a particular favorite Beaujolais that you lean on?
Well, full disclosure, I import a lot of Beaujolais, so yeah, mine. I was actually we just started importing a Beaujolais Village, which I can't always say I've found to be great. But then I love ours a lot. But it's the same producer that has Cote Brouilly production, so I feel like if I was going to go with particular cru, which is just like a sub-village within Beaujolais, as you might know.
Yeah.
But I don't know if anybody else does because they hear Beaujolais and they hear Beaujolais Nouveau. But yeah, I love Cote de Brouilly. It's a pretty small sub-appellation though, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it's come up. My old co-host, Matt, was a big, I believe, fan. So I am going with you on the drinkable. I found this Sangiovese from Santa Barbara. And, you know, it says served chilled on the back. And I'm not a big chilled red wine guy. I don't care what the rules say. I don't care if my like red wine fridge is supposed to be 62 degrees or whatever. I like my red wine room temp. I did chill this, and it was a knockout. And for the price, I believe I got these for like 18 or 19 bucks a bottle. I immediately went and bought 6 more. And I pair that with Fish's Tuesday night live concert archival series, Dinner and a Movie, because if you find this wine is so drinkable, you can pretty much pair it with any food, and they tell you to cook all sorts of weird food, but more so than that, it's a nice hot weather thing. And if you're up and dancing to the tunes, you need a nice cold, refreshing Sangiovese. So the love you bunches with Fish's Dinner and a Movie every Tuesday night. That's the way to do it. Okay, wine and food pairing suggestion. Do you have one that you're currently on? I know you've mentioned bubbles. Are we going to get one of those?
Oh yeah, we're going to get more bubbles because that's just my obsession. Let's stick with what I love most. I love it bunches. Yeah, just said it. So pre-COVID, I was also doing tastings where it would be wine and cheese pairings. And I got super hooked on triple cream Brie, which is not something you should eat in huge quantities. I'll just say that right now. I feel like it's practically butter. But, and I was pairing it with red berries. And so just literally you can smear it on the berry or put it on a cracker. But back to this guy. It has the natural berry notes in it, and the acidity cuts through the fat of the triple cream Brie. And for me, I still just do it for myself all the time. I don't care if I'm not sharing a cheese spread with other people. But yeah, I love it. Love it. So berries and a fatty cheese with a sparkling rosé is what I'm gonna say.
I mean, that sounds like something. It's a match made in heaven. I think my wife would kill for that. So I got this this Rupert and Rothschild. There we go. Nice Merlot, Cab Franc, Cab Sauv blend from South Africa. And sort of in the vein of, you know, drink, eat something, I, again, made some braised lamb shank. I did not put any of this in. I did put the cheap stuff in.
Yeah.
Not that this is overly expensive. I mean, it's maybe 35, 40 bucks. But it's great. I mean, just, you know, it had all the things you'd want on the backside. Obviously, a lot of strong grapes there. So it's a big bowl, but really nice, silky, gentle finish. And I think when you're doing like a lamb, and there's a little bit of that fat and kind of lamb lingers in the mouth because it's gamey. I think this is a good pairing for that. So I threw in some cheap. What did I put in there? I put in some cheap like Italian wine, but I also go kind of heavy-handed on the tomatoes in my braise, so it all makes sense. Yeah. Awesome. So thank you so much for joining. We have reached the end of our journey, but I would like, I'd like some closing thoughts, a plug maybe, you know, what wine store are you in Chicago, and where is it, and where can we pick up some of the stuff you're bringing in?
Yeah, well, I can post more extensively or send you a list of a bunch of shops. I'm kind of, my stuff is dotted all around the city. That was my vision, and luckily it's kind of come to fruition. But I'm in Bottles Up. It's pretty much Broadway and Belmont. It's my friend Melissa's shop. It's unbelievable. I love it so much. And she actually organized the entire shop by intensity. So up top, you see that lighter goes to darker. So instead of doing it by region or anything, it's literally what are you feeling like? She does the same with the reds on the other side. But I love it. Joe's Wine Cellar on Division is another huge one. I told you up in Wilmette, the bottle shop. Anyway, there's way too many, and I love them all. And so it's like, I can't choose one favorite, but.
Got it. And you know, if somebody is just so enamored by you during this, which I'm sure they will be, they can always reach out to you and you do like a fun Zoom tasting nationwide or even some backyard stuff locally.
So
some socially distanced.
Coming out of this, it started to become a huge request. Specifically, wine shops would ask me, "Oh, would you ever be willing to do a private Zoom tasting?" And then I started those. I've done some in states that I'm not in. So I pretty much tell you what to go and buy then, and then I'll talk to you about it over Zoom. Or I've done a few socially distanced things since stuff has opened up a little bit, but pretty cautious. So, but
maybe you know, I'd love to have you back on, and we can do like a live tasting that we record and then post later of some stuff where we go back and forth. That could be fun.
Love it.
Thank you so much for the time. Thanks everybody for watching. Remember, leave comments below, and if you leave a comment, you have a chance to win a $25 donation to charity of your choice in your name, and or a $25 gift card to wine.com, or potentially the bottle shop in Chicago. Go buy one of Rendi's wines. So thanks so much for your time, everybody. Talk to you later.
Bye. Thanks.